Luis from luisrevere.com. Here, coming to you yet again to another episode of my podcast, World of Entertainment. And this is going to be the first one of the new year. And it's going to be all about one thing. Probably it's not going to be a very long episode, but I wanted to do it. So Netflix on the on January 1st gave us the third season of Cobra Kai. Now, before getting into it, this is a full. I'm gonna be clear on this. This video is full of spoilers, so if you have not seen it yet, don't see the video. Maybe come to it later, because I wanted to do a video of a full review and not just touch on the lightly. So this is gonna. I'm gonna spoil a lot of things here. So if you have not seen it, last warning: turn away from the video. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. All right. So anyway, so Netflix gave us for the new year the third season. It was actually gonna be released on January 8th, I think. So they updated it like for a week. I mean, they changed the release date for a week before. So that was good. I was so excited. And once I woke up on January 1st, I think I saw like 5 episodes in a row. And I just finished it a few hours ago. But I was actually talking to my sister, and I told her this because I just realized that I was not a big fan of the Karate Kid movies. I mean, I saw them, I enjoyed them. I mean, they were great. I'm not saying they were bad. I mean, I loved the films, but I was not such a big, those are, not even my favorite films of the 80s. And then I start watching the show, and the show has become, something bigger to me than the movie ever was. I mean, the series just grabbed me from season 1, and I've become hooked in the Karate Kid universe. Being honest, I tried seeing the films the other day, and I couldn't finish it. I mean, and here comes Cobra Kai, and I'm eating every episode, and now I ended it, and I can't wait to see season 4. I'm sure season 4 is going to be the last, so I'm intrigued how they're going to end this massive drama that they have created, the Karate Kid universe, which, I mean, for me, it's been such a great show. I have to say and admit it. It's been a great show. Acted, very well written. I think it has done respecting the legacy of the films, but yet adding new to the core of the legend of the Karate Kid universe. So So I want to get into it right away. I mean, what do I think of season 3? I think it was great. And I think it was it had its things that maybe I got a little bit tired of seeing, but at the same time, it was part of the development of the story and where they were going with the story, so you understood why. And I'm gonna explain it in a minute. So the first episode we start, of course, with Miguel, with fighting for his life, of course, because of he fell from the second floor, hit his back, so he's in a coma. And we begin with Johnny Lawrence and Danny both struggling with what they feel they caused, because their rivalry is what escalated between these kids, and they have taken it to a worse level than maybe Johnny and Daniel ever did. So we get to see that, and on the background, John Kreese is making his presence felt more stronger now that he's the sole sensei of the Cobra Kai kids. So we do get a lot of this. I mean, the core of the series for me is those 3 characters: Johnny, Daniel, and Kreese as the villain, and Danny and Johnny having to come to terms with their own legacies and see that they're not the enemies of each other. So that was kind of good that the series had developed over the show. So I think the first 3 episodes for me I mean, they were good, but I thought they were a little bit slow, but but they were good. They were captivating, even though. And what I like about this series is that they take the characters and they take the time to develop them, and whatever happens to the characters is not out of the blue. When you see it, you see the changes in Johnny don't come overnight. The changes in Daniel, all the characters, the kids, everything. It's a development. They take the time. They don't try to rush the stories. They don't try to rush what we want to see. So what I liked about season three, okay, season three, I liked a lot. I mean, I found that the background that they started adding for John Kree's character was really interesting because we got to understand him. We got to see why his philosophy of no mercy, where it came from. He did not earn any sympathy from me anyway, but I understood him. I think it was well done the way they did it in flashbacks, and sometimes even the flashbacks having to do with the current situation that he was on. So I enjoyed that. I think it was good to have the backstory to see why this man is like this, and war will do that to you. I think anyway. So that was good. The other thing I liked was Daniel's visit to Okinawa, where the second film was based, and all I liked that the meeting of the villain in the second film was done in this way. You know, it was not another battle. It was more of coming to terms with what happened, forgiveness, and chosen, which was the name of the other guy, teaching him what he didn't know about Miyagi's teachings, and that was great. I think it was very well done. Those whole chapters where he was there, I think it was really well done. The other thing I liked about season three was Ali's return, of course played by Elizabeth Shue. I've heard rumors, but I surprised me because I did not expect her to return because I have heard nothing. But I loved how she was thrown in there. I loved what she represented for Daniel and for Johnny, and that they didn't immediately just make it like a love triangle. That they used her to make Johnny realize that he loved Carmen, Miguel's mother. Because when I started seeing them on their date, I feared, oh, here they go. Now he's gonna go back with her, and he's gonna break, and Miguel is gonna hate him. And they didn't go that route, which I thankfully liked. That they went that way. I think it was so well done. And when they get to the party, when they start reminiscing, and Ali makes them see that they just had 2 points of view, and none of them had the truth, and that helped them to get together in a way. It was done so beautifully. I think it was done perfectly. The other thing I liked, of course, was the last episode. When I started seeing the last episode, I actually got a little bit afraid because I felt it was going to be the same ending as season two. Okay, the kids fighting and all this mess in the LaRusso's house. But I like the ending. I like how it ended. I like the fact that I forget his name, the guy with the lip, that he changed. I think he was struggling during season three with who he was and his friends, and I liked how they did it. You know, that it was in the end seeing his friends getting beat up by these other guys he was hanging out with, and that made him realize that he was not one of them. And when he started fighting with Dimitri, which they were friends in season one, I thought that was great. I loved how they made that happen, and of course the ending, where Johnny rushed to John Kreese's dojo, and they finally start fighting. I like it because they just everything I thought was gonna happen didn't happen. There was one point where I felt like John Kreese was gonna end with Johnny. He was gonna kill him, and at that point you get Daniel rushing into the dojo and fighting this evil John Kreese. And then the kids stopped their father from killing him. So it was done so perfectly, and I think it sets up season four so perfectly because now the tournament is the big final, is the big climax. So I think that's where they're going on season 4. Obviously, I don't know where they might go with some of the things I like. Um, I felt like it was fun seeing Johnny train Miguel to get him out of the wheelchair. I think it was very well done. Um, I liked how the fighting, Miguel's fighting this guy while he's in a coma represents him fighting for his life. I think that was very well done. Um, I love the 80s feel of it too. Okay, getting Dee Snider to be on a concert and having that help Miguel start moving his leg. Um, the action, of course, I think is very well choreographed. It's great action. I think it becomes too much. At one point, the evil in these kids, but it's part of the story, and you see it because that's what John Kreese is doing. That's what he wants. That he wants these kids to be this evil, and he's achieving that. So again, it's just so part of the story, um, and I really love the action. I think it's pretty cool. Robbie, it's a conflicting character. He has to be like everything unfair happens to him because he has this. I don't think he's a bad kid, but he has a father who is trying to be there for his kid, but at the same time he's trying to be there for Miguel, and he's jealous of Miguel. I mean, who wouldn't? His father's there more for him than for him, and of course, and then he sees him with Sam, and that test just goes on to do a lot of other things. So I believe that I kind of understood the path they took with this character. It was the only thing that I kind of expected to happen and did happen. Not in the way that I thought it would, but I think I knew it was going to happen like that. And it's one of the most intriguing characters for me to see how they end up with him in season 4. I like the allegiance of the kids that were not in Cobra Kai anymore and the ones in Miami Dojo. I think that was really great what they did with that. Um, so I think my overall thoughts in season 3 is that it was a good season. Um, I think it just expanded on what they were doing on the past seasons. Um, the the uh, the character of the little brother of Sam, is really like a non-necessary character. I think he appeared in, and I wonder, wouldn't Danny be wanting to train them both? I mean, he has 2 kids, so those are the few things that maybe he slipped through their mind. And but those are minor details that really don't bother anyone. So if you haven't seen it, check it out on Netflix. And hopefully, if you want to share your opinions on the comments on YouTube, hopefully I'll get to read them and share our thoughts on the season 3 of Cobra Kai. So this has been Luis from LuisReviewer.com here in this episode of the podcast, focusing on Cobra Kai season 3.